Hello everyone, my name is Julian, and I am on a mission to crown the definitive gaming GOAT of the 21st century. We will be looking at and analyzing the top 3 games I've selected to represent each year starting from the year 2000. We will eventually find ourselves the true champion. Each game will face a data-driven scoring system. Winners will claim their birth year, then battle in 5-year bracket finales until only one masterpiece remains standing. Let's look at the math that makes this possible. The formula I will be using evaluates 3 core pillars. Number 1, community voice. Raw Metacritic user scores converted directly into tournament points. This will generate the foundation of points. Number 2, financial returns. Revenue versus budget ratio. A game returning 50 times its budget beats a game returning 15 times. This leads to a strong point multiplier. Number 3, staying power. Bonus points awarded for sequels, remasters, or full remakes. This leads to a less significant multiplier, but is still meaningful. The data is locked in, the bracket is set. Let's get into it. First up, Final Fantasy IX. Hitting the original PlayStation on November 13th, 2000. Developed by Square, it's widely considered one of the greatest JRPGs ever made. But how does it stack up against our pillars? Critically, it's a masterpiece, boasting a 94 critic score and an 8.9 user score. But remember, in these scoring pillars, we are only giving weight to the user scores. Financially, its $40 million budget pulled in $500 million in revenue. That's a 12.5 times return on investment. Impressive, but actually on the weaker side compared to the rest of today's list. For stay power, it scores high. The franchise is still pumping out sequels, and this entry snagged a full HD remaster back in 2016. Plug all that into our 3-pillar formula, and Final Fantasy IX lands a total score of 15,019. Let's see how it fares against our next game from the year of Y2K. Diablo II. Diablo II launched June 29, 2000 from the legendary Blizzard North. This is one of the most culturally significant genre-defining action RPGs of all time. Personally, I've burned thousands of hours in this masterclass of addictive gaming, but our 3-pillar scoring system has no room for nostalgia. Let's look at the numbers. First, the critical pillar. Metacritic users put this at an 8.8 experience, which is solid, but not the best score we are going to see. Financially, things get wild. It cost a microscopic $2 million to develop, the absolute cheapest budget on today's list. Yet, it raked in roughly $350 million in lifetime revenue. That is an astronomical 175 times return on investment. This nets it a massive financial score. Finally, longevity. Between the legendary Lord of Destruction expansion, multi-generational sequels, and a phenomenal 2021 remaster in Diablo II Resurrected, it effortlessly sweeps up our franchise bonus points. Plug all those metrics into the formula, and Diablo II leaves a trail of destruction with a staggering 59,400 points. To round out our top 3 games of the year 2000, we have the unstoppable Titan, Pokemon Gold and Silver. The impact of Pokemon on global pop culture cannot be understated. Releasing in North America on October 15, 2000, Generation 2 took the world by absolute storm. When it comes to our critical pillar, the original Game Boy Color release completely predate Metacritic. So, to keep our system moving, we're pulling the massive 9.1 user score from its legendary 2010 Nintendo DS remakes, and honestly, it deserves every point. Financially, these games didn't just do well, they shattered the scales. On a modest $5 million development budget, Gold and Silver raked in a mind-blowing $1.1 billion in revenue. That is an astronomical 220 times return on investment, easily crushing the financial pillar. As for longevity, Pokemon has been permanently cemented into global culture ever since. With those flawless 2010 remakes, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and a never-ending flood of mainline sequels, it effortlessly sweeps up our bonus points too. Plug all those titanic metrics into our formula, and Pokemon Gold and Silver lands a staggering 3-pillar score of 76,781 points. Now, let's shift gears and head into the year 2001. First up is the titan of the track, Gran Turismo 3, A-Spec, launching in North America on July 10, 2001. Developed by Polyphony Digital, Sony's premier first-party studio led by legendary racing enthusiast Kazunori Yamauchi, this was the definitive racing simulator of its era. Everyone knew it and everyone owned it. But how does it handle on our three-pillar scoring system? First, the critical pillar. It clocks in with a very respectable 8.4 user score, serviceable but not quite breaking our records. Financially though, it accelerates quick. On an $8 million budget, it generated a massive $740 million in revenue, an incredible 92.5 times return on investment, proving it was a goldmine for Sony. For longevity, the franchise has consistently pumped out blockbuster sequels into the modern era, but Gran Turismo 3 itself never received a dedicated remaster. Because of that, it misses out on a few staying power bonus points. Add it all up, and Gran Turismo 3 crosses the finish line with a total score of 23,625. While it's indeed a powerhouse of a financial success, it might not have quite enough overall grip to climb to the very top of our ranks. Next, we have a game that didn't just evolve the first-person shooter, it completely revolutionized it. Halo Combat Evolved. Launching on November 15, 2001, Halo was single-handedly responsible for legitimizing the original Xbox as a true threat to Nintendo and Sony. If you were a gaming teen in the early 2000s, this was your life. But can the Master Chief conquer our leaderboard? Looking at the critical pillar, it secures a strong 8.6 user score. It's a great baseline, but it needs cosmic financial numbers to take the crown. Speaking of financials, Halo cost $30 million to make and generated a massive $600 million in lifetime revenue. That is an impressive 20 times return on investment. However, compared to the absolute monsters on our list, a 20 times return isn't nearly explosive enough to push it into the top ranks. For longevity, it easily sweeps up our staying power bonus points. Halo sparked an entire multimedia empire of blockbuster sequels, a 10-year anniversary remaster, and a legendary legacy that continues to this day. Unfortunately, when you plug all of that into our formula, Halo finishes with a three-pillar score of 29,025. It's an elite gaming milestone, but it falls short of breaking into our upper echelon of performers on our list. Let's see what our final game from 2001 has in store for us. Grand Theft Auto 3. Rockstar has been dropping bangers for decades, but it's easy to forget that this series started out as a top-down 2D pixel game. GTA 3 was the historic leap into a fully 3D open world. The game definitely did a lot to earn its mature rating and upset plenty of parents back in the day, but will it upset the balance of our rankings? Launching on October 22, 2001, the game was highly controversial, but it built an instantly fanatical fan base. Surprisingly, the critical pillar takes a hit here, clocking in with just a 7.9 user score. That is definitely on the lower end for this list. It would need some savage financial numbers to bail it out. Luckily, GTA 3 delivers. On a microscopic $5 million budget, it generated a staggering $1 billion in revenue. That is a mind-blowing 200 times return on investment, a financial masterclass only beaten so far by Pokemon Gold and Silver. As for longevity, it completely sweeps the board. The game received a high-profile remaster, and the GTA franchise is still one of the biggest juggernauts in entertainment today. Plug those performances into our formula, and Grand Theft Auto 3 steals a massive 53,325 points. Let's continue this tournament of champions and enter into the year 2002. And it starts with another iconic edition of the Grand Theft Auto franchise, Vice City. Vice City was released on October the 29th, 2002, and later remastered in 2021. It is an iconic 1980s neon-soaked crime epic following Tommy Vercetti's rise to power in a fictional Miami. It completely redefined open-world gaming with its legendary licensed soundtrack, vibrant aesthetic, and a cinematic narrative heavily inspired by Scarface. Like GTA 3, Vice City was a massive triumph for Rockstar Games. Metacritic users have given this game an 8.6, a pretty big jump up from its predecessor, GTA 3's 7.9 user score. Financially, it was an absolute powerhouse. Off a budget of just $5 million, it raked in $900 million, yielding an impressive return on investment of 180 times. This allows Vice City to maximize our potential point multiplier for financial success. As stated earlier, it scores stay power bonus points as well for its official 2021 remaster. In our three pillars scoring system, Vice City completely outclasses its predecessor, earning 58,050 points, nearly 2,000 more points than GTA 3. Will this massive score outclass the other selections of 2002? Let's see. Enter 2002's next contender, Kingdom Hearts. Released on March 28th, this whimsical action RPG did the impossible. It seamlessly blended original Square Enix characters with classic Walt Disney universes. It was a massive, high-risk crossover that completely captivated both fandoms. Metacritic users awarded it an 8.5 score, shattering the skeptical expectations people had before launch. Financially, it was a major success, but it faced a unique hurdle. With a budget of $15 million, inflated by those hefty Disney licensing fees, as well as star-studded voice acting cast, it still hauled in $300 million in revenue. That is a fantastic 20 times return on investment. A strong performance, sure, but not quite enough to max out our financial pillar. However, its longevity is legendary. This game has been remastered across generations: the PS3 in 2013, Xbox in 2020, PC in 2021, and just recently, a native Switch 2 port in October of 2026. That is maximum points for staying power. But when you crunch the final numbers, Kingdom Hearts lands at 28,688 points. Unfortunately, that bloated budget compared to its competitors really hamstrings its performance in our three-pillar system. So, while it's a nostalgic masterpiece, it just isn't a true threat to win. Next up is 2002's The Elder Scrolls III: Morrowind. Dropping May 1st on PC and June 7th on Xbox, this legendary RPG saved Bethesda from near bankruptcy and completely redefined open-world gaming. You play as a prophecy-bound outcast sent to save an alien ash-covered island from a rising demigod. It's highly celebrated for its deep lore and a brutal refusal to hold your hand. Financially, it's a titan. Built on a tiny $5 million budget, it pulled in an impressive $200 million in revenue, netting a massive 40 times return. The fact that it never saw a PlayStation release likely prevented the game from soaring to even higher heights. Fans on Metacritic back that success of the game with a solid 8.4 user score. Sadly, it misses out on crucial points because it never received an official remaster. All in all, Morrowind scores 35,438 points in the three-pillar ranking system, a highly impressive showing, but not quite enough to threaten the top of the leaderboard. Now let's check out our three entries from the year 2003. First up, we have Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, or KOTOR. It debuted on July 15th for the Xbox, followed by a PC release on November 19th. Developed by BioWare, this critically acclaimed, choice-driven RPG is set 4,000 years before the films. Players journey across the galaxy to stop a ruthless Sith armada, navigating a deep alignment system that lets you choose between the light and dark sides of the Force. Plus, it features one of the greatest plot twists in gaming history, legit a great story-based experience. The game shattered Xbox sales records, won dozens of Game of the Year awards, and pioneered the mechanics BioWare would later use to build Mass Effect and Dragon Age, the good ones. It was incredibly well received by fans, earning a stellar 8.9 user score on Metacritic. However, it isn't quite as financially dominant as other entries on our list. Boasting a development budget of $10 million and earning $160 million, it represents a 16 times return, scoring strictly in our moderate category. In terms of staying power, it lands on both feet for full points. It ended up spawning a direct sequel and a long-running MMO. These sequels spawned a universe that many Star Wars fans believe rival the original Skywalker saga. On the remake front, things get a little messy. When PlayStation announced a ground-up remake of Knights of the Old Republic back in 2021, RPG fans lost their minds. It was supposed to be the ultimate PlayStation 5 console exclusive, but then, total radio silence. But not all was lost, as Nintendo brought us a remaster port that launched in November of 2021. This gives KOTOR the full points for staying power. So, inputting these performances into our three-pillar system, KOTOR ends up with a decent 22,528 points. A solid game that did very well, but not enough to really play with the big games on this list. Now we turn our attention to 2003's Call of Duty. Releasing on October 29th, this game would birth a long-running franchise with immense staying power. Developed by Infinity Ward, the original Call of Duty is a groundbreaking World War II first-person shooter that shifted the genre away from lone wolf action heroes. Instead, it focused on the intense, cinematic grit of ordinary soldiers, told through three distinct campaigns: American, British, and Soviet. Firstly, the game was well received, scoring at 8.2 among users on Metacritic. Financials were solid too, being made on a $4.5 million budget and producing $140 million in revenue, giving the studio a 31 times return on investment and scoring full points in this category. While it was strictly a PC game in 2003, it was later remastered and ported to Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 in 2009 under the title Call of Duty Classic. It also, of course, spawned a long-running franchise, so it achieves the full bonus points from the staying power pillar. When calculated in our 3 pillars formula, Call of Duty earns a point value of 34,594, pretty solid. Next, we have a returning heavy-hitting franchise, 2003's Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Releasing in North America on March 19, 2003, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire are incredible role-playing games where players journey through tropical, water-heavy regions. Beyond fighting gym leaders to become the Pokemon champion, players must thwart an eco-terrorist organization. It is celebrated for introducing abilities, natures, and double battles, mechanics that fundamentally defined Pokemon's competitive system for decades to come. Metacritic users score the game with a 7.8, which is on the low side of our entries. However, no surprises here. It did big financial numbers. Production budget was $5 million, and revenue generated was $600 million. That is an eye-watering 120 times return on investment and easily achieves max points for the financial pillar of our scoring system. These received remasters in 2014, and obviously, Pokemon hasn't gone anywhere, so staying power achieves full points here as well. Ruby and Sapphire come in at an impressive 48,431 points in our 3-pillar system. Let's wade into the 5th and final year of this first bracket with a game that has left its fingerprints on the gaming industry in so many ways, 2004's Half-Life 2. Released on November 16th and developed by Valve Corporation, Half-Life 2 is a masterfully paced sci-fi first-person shooter. It follows theoretical physicist Gordon Freeman as he awakens from stasis to lead a desperate human resistance against the Combine, a brutal, totalitarian alien empire that conquered Earth. Calling Half-Life 2 groundbreaking is an understatement. It completely rewrote the rulebook for modern game design in physics, facial animation, seamless storytelling, and it birthed Steam. For these reasons, it would be impossible to ignore this game when talking about the greats of 2004. The game absolutely delivered with the fans, scoring an amazing 9.2 user score on Metacritic. That 9.2 is actually the highest score bestowed amongst all the games we've looked at so far. Financially, it was produced on a $40 million budget, fairly sizable for games at the time, and returned $600 million in revenue, which is strong for sure, but compared to the other entries in this tournament of champions, that multiplier falls short. It also takes a hit in the staying power pillar since a proper remaster never came, and Half-Life 3 has become an eternal meme. However, I will give it sequel points under the terms that we did get the Portal games as well as Half-Life Alyx. These games have such a tight lineage to the DNA of Half-Life 2 that I simply cannot ignore them. However, that being said, the raw math of the columns tells a different story. Half-Life 2 unfortunately only scores 12,938 points on our 3 pillars formula, a score mostly hampered by its lack of financial success compared to its rivals on this list. 2004 also gave us the infamous World of Warcraft, WoW, officially released in North America on November 23, 2004, perfectly timing the 10th anniversary of the Warcraft franchise. Developed by Blizzard Entertainment, World of Warcraft is a genre-defining, massively multiplayer online role-playing game set in a huge fantasy world. Players create custom characters, choosing between 2 warring factions and explore a seamless, persistent online universe. WoW became an absolute global phenomenon that extended far beyond core gamers. At its peak, it was essentially a digital country with a population that rivaled actual nations. Metacritic users gave it a score of 7.5, which keeps its points down in that category and prevents it from becoming a true titan in our review pillar. But it made bank. Overall, it cost Blizzard a huge investment of $63 million to create and maintain, but it pulled in a mind-blowing $9.3 billion. That represents an absurd 147 times return on investment, netting maximum points for the financial pillar. It also spawned massive expansions, a Hollywood movie, and an official legacy revival with WoW Classic, securing full points for staying power as well. All calculated up, we are looking at a final performance of 44,297 points. Quite impressive indeed. But is it the king of 2004? Rockstar strikes again with Grand Theft Auto: San Andreas. First released in North America on October 26, 2004, the launch was a generational event. Lines stretched around blocks as fans queued at midnight to buy copies, immediately crowning it a cultural milestone that transcended typical video games. GTA San Andreas is a sprawling, open-world crime drama set in 1992 across the fictional, massive West Coast state of San Andreas, which includes 3 distinct cities based on Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Las Vegas. The game combined street-level gang warfare with a vast criminal empire simulation. It was both highly controversial and a massive moneymaker, just how Rockstar likes it. San Andreas scores a spectacular 9.1 user score on Metacritic, securing its absolute beloved status in the fandom. Financially, Rockstar had another monster on its hands. With a production cost of just $10 million, it pulled in $850 million in revenue. That represents a staggering 85 times return on investment, locking in automatic full points for the financial category. It later received a console remaster back in 2021. And with the GTA franchise continuing to dominate the industry with sequels, staying power achieves full points as well. Ultimately, San Andreas showcases an aggressive 46,069 points in our formula. The data is in, and the matchups are complete. 3 defining titles from each year have gone head-to-head in our tournament. Let's break down the results, starting from the bottom to the top. Here we go. Rounding out the bottom of the list, in 5th place we have 2004's San Andreas, earning 46,069 points and defeating World of Warcraft and Half-Life 2 and claiming champion of 2004. Then we have 4th place, 2003's Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. It handsomely defeated Call of Duty and Knights of the Old Republic to become the champion of 2003. 3rd place goes to 2001's Grand Theft Auto 3 with 53,325 points, smashing both Halo, Combat Evolved, and Gran Turismo 3. 2nd place, and this series runner-up, goes to 2002's Vice City with 58,050 points. Rockstar's GTA series proves exactly why it's so legendary, holding off both Kingdom Hearts and Morrowind. And in 1st place, becoming the crowned king of the years 2000 to 2004, we have the game that beat out Final Fantasy IX and the massively influential Diablo 2. It's the year 2000's Pokemon Gold and Silver with a staggering 76,781 points. Looking at the data, this tournament really proved to me just how dominant Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto series has been and how truly gargantuan the Pokemon franchise is. Looking to the next 5 years, from 2005 to 2009, I am honestly not sure if we will see Pokemon Gold and Silver get dethroned, but we'll find out in the next video. If you enjoyed the breakdown, hit that subscribe button. You know all the reasons why I want your sub, so please make it happen. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it.